Hello, everyone. I am Joshua William Gelb, and welcome to Theater in Quarantine. It is Monday, February 1st, and it is 9 o'clock and snowy here in New York City. Thank you for tuning in and joining me for Blood Meal, written by Scott R. Sheppard. Now, it's been a little over 10 months since I converted the closet behind me here in my East Village apartment, measuring 4 feet wide by 8 feet tall and only 2 feet deep, into the white box digital performance laboratory that we call Theater in Quarantine. With co-creative director Katie Rose McLaughlin, we've been expanding our roster of collaborators, as well as working with some incredible institutional supporters. Now, tonight, I'm joined in performance by Minora, who is in her own closet that we built in the downstairs theater at the La Mama Experimental Theater Club. Huge thank you to La Mama, as well as to Theater Mitu and their Artists at Home program, as well as CultureHub's Experiments in Digital Storytelling program, both of which donated the equipment that made tonight's performance possible. Now, the performance tonight runs about 35 minutes, and afterwards I'll be hanging around with my fellow collaborators to discuss the process of making this work, including all the technologies we used, and I mean, what it is like to work with a remote performer in a closet 10 blocks away. And well, we'd love to answer any questions that you might have, so be sure to drop them in the chat. Now, what else you can drop in the chat are tips. Now that we have reached the 1,000 subscriber goal, actually, we're really close to 1,500. So if a couple of you just subscribe, we'll be at 1,500. But now that we're an official YouTube partner, we can actually accept tips in the chat. So if you just press that $ below, you can tip us. Now, we also accept donations through our Fractured Atlas link, which is in the description below, and those donations are all tax deductible. Now, please, as I said, make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on all of our upcoming shows, and to make sure you can check out some crowd favorites, including the recent New York Times Critics' Pick, I Am Sending You the Sacred Face. But we should get started. Now, Lee and I are going to take a brief 1-minute break to get into places and to capture a few loops that will appear later in the show. And I promise that everything we do tonight is either being performed or captured live. In a closet in my apartment, and a closet in the basement of La Mama. Now, thank you. And, well, hold on. Lee, are you ready? Okay, I've been told Lee is ready. I'm actually talking to Lee. This isn't like a stagey bit of business. So thank you all. Here we go. Performance 2, late show. Excited you're all here. Blood Meal. Sorry we didn't have you inside the house.
We're installing a hot tub right now, actually.
Yeah, it's jets, bubbles, the whole thing.
So it's just a mess in here.
Next time, real dinner party, promise.
I love a drink on the porch, though, don't you, Boo?
I do. Crisp air.
And Desmond, your beard is growing faster than your 1-year-old. I'm kidding.
Kids are so fun to watch grow.
Sam's afraid to hold children.
Oh, you've seen me empty the dishwasher. It's broken glass everywhere. Oops. Well, we have got to hit the hay.
Boo!
Oh, whoa!
Another drink? You're gonna have me singing karaoke with a lampshade on my head.
Sorry, you guys, but we are beat.
I am gonna hit the pillow like this. Smash!
Smash. Drink.
Absolutely no more fucking drinks.
If I don't get good sleep, I'm a nightmare.
He is a devil.
True story.
A devil!
My anxiety is a larger problem in the marriage.
Daddy issues.
Hey, if I'm the pot, you're the
He
kettle.
forgot him at Toys R Us. We don't talk about it.
But anyway,
That's love for you.
let's do a rain check.
Huge rain check.
Huge one. Next week.
You know what? Let's set a time right here, right now, so we actually do it.
Awesome. Should we get in our phones?
I'm serious.
So am I. I'm in my calendar right now. Where are you?
I'm 2 seconds behind you, and soon I'm gonna have my teeth in your ass.
Let's pick a date where we can make bad decisions together, huh?
Let's go hard.
Like college.
Thank you for saying that. Let's do it like college.
MSU? I said no to the Ivies. Dad said biggest mistake in my life. Agree to disagree.
How about next Thursday?
Done. I love a Thursday.
Thursday it is. Thirsty Thursday. Oh my God, weather says it might snow.
Fun. Awesome. Let's get snowed in.
Let's get snowed in for a week.
Oh.
Higa.
Higa!
Okay, it's set. 100%.
1000%. Oh!
What?
I'm gonna bring out this sipping gin I have.
Sam, yes, you are a blessed hero. It's so good.
Small batches.
You guys are gonna love this gin. You're gonna die.
It really is. Oh, God, what is what's the...
I know what you're saying. Because it's a berry. It's a...
The flavor profile of this gin is a berry. Our minds were blown.
It's a tart one.
Huckleberry?
Juniper?
No, that's just the ingredient for gin.
I'm an ass. Never listen to me.
Elderberry?
Is it a blue?
Classic blueberry.
Or a straw?
Strawberry. No, that's not.
Elderflower.
Elderflower, yes!
Elderflower.
Shit. Flower, not a berry. That was a
Yeah.
struggle. My God, you guys are going to drink it like water.
And let's get high, too.
Ah, sweetie, we gone smoke that blunt.
I love being high. We'll get paranoid. Order Pizza Hut.
Breadsticks, sauces, whatever.
Get drunk.
Switch partners.
Switch partners. Oh my God, Sam. You are a fucking hilarious shithead clown.
I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. I mean, Desmond, she'd grind your dick down to a bloody stump.
I don't even know what that means.
Me neither. I panicked.
Rachel, he's a tit man. You'd give him a coronary with those things. And then I'd have a dead husband.
Dead, but happy.
But you guys, what a relief to just share a drink on the porch.
Yeah. You know, I feel like this date was our Carnegie Hall as a couple.
Sam needs friends. Brings out his personality.
True and yes. And next time we'll actually have you inside the house.
But tonight's so sweepy.
Oh, yeah, I know. My eyes are falling out of my head. I'm going to have to come out here tomorrow and scoop them up.
Scoop up his eyes? What does that mean?
No clue.
Oh, good night, friends.
Kisses and squeezes.
Ooh,
Oh.
Careful, Rachel.
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good night.
When I was a little kid, I used to go into the dining room on hot summer days and wait for the houseflies to land on my arms and legs. I liked the way it felt when the flies walked across my skin. On a really good day, I could get 3 to land on me at the same time. There was something so thrilling about that. Now, when I'm in my house, which I adore, I feel like bugs are crawling all over my body all the time. I'm not sure if it's good news or bad news, but I'm starting to get used to it. Ever since the infestation, I find myself thinking a lot about faith and doubt. I used to think that faith was a kind of weakness, and doubt was a form of strength. Because at the end of the day, faith is about settling for something. It's the art of calling the incomplete complete. Doubt, on the other hand, requires more discipline. It's a practice. Always approaching but never arriving. Doubt is a hunger, which is why I doubt Sam. I doubt him because I love him. And when I look through his armpit hair, I like to imagine I'm in a forest and I'm a huntress, and at any moment I will find them crawling around.
Lindsay,
What?
did you hear what I said?
Of course I did.
Okay, so...
You want the soap?
No. I said, do you think they know?
Desmond and Rachel?
Yes.
Why do you keep asking that? They have no idea.
You told them we were getting a hot
So?
tub. And then we stayed on the porch.
So?
It's winter! That's strange! Why would we do that?
Because we're an adventurous and quirky couple, Sam. What is that?
Those are moths.
I know what they are. Do you know what they are?
Those are moths.
How many fucking species of insects live in this room?
The moths aren't going to hurt us.
Moths eat cashmere, Sam. Don't act like you know things. And what if the moths are another part of it? Like the pupa phase or a side effect?
Do you want me to kill them?
No, I'm Googling pupa moth side effect.
Okay.
Plus, you aren't good at killing things.
Yes, I am.
When have you killed anything?
I killed a mouse once.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. He was on a sticky trap. I used my blue shoe.
You killed a mouse with your blue cloud runners?
Yes.
How did you do it?
I hit it.
But how?
Do you want me to Google hit with shoe for you?
Did you do a fast smack or did you do a slow press?
Slow press. Ugh, that's disgusting.
Why?
Don't say press.
What about when I French blank my coffee?
I don't want to think about it.
Use the shampoo.
I'm good. Scalp is smooth, no bites today.
You know that doesn't mean anything, right?
No, I know.
Do you want me to apply it?
Nope. I just want to give the follicles a rest.
Okay. That makes sense.
Why doesn't Sam want to use his charcoal shampoo? It's one of the few healthcare products proven to fight the bug. Sam and I have agreed to make love every night until this whole thing is over, regardless of how we're feeling about one another. It's our little way of fighting back, our little covenant to each other. We may not have control of our home or our lives or how we come and go, but we do have this. We know that we have to get what we need from the other person. And there's a simplicity in that. It helps us communicate. Plus, my love language is conflict. His is touch. Sex is a good meeting place. But it also helps me notice things about Sam. Like right now, there's something cheerless about his erection. And he's lasting longer than usual because he's distracted. Hear that? Something's wrong. And it occurs to me that he's starting to believe that we're no longer infested. He wants it to be over. He wants everything to go back to normal, even though we haven't waited the requisite 3 months. The science says our little friends can go 95 days without a blood meal. It's why we sleep in the kitchen. It's why we plastic wrapped the books. It's why we chainsawed the settee and gave away the cat. All that effort. Why does he want to give that up?
You don't think we have them anymore, do you?
What?
The bugs, the bugs, the bugs, the bugs!
Yes, of course I think we have them. I love you.
Sometimes I think you don't think we have them.
I do think we have them.
You want people to come into our house?
Of course not.
You want to spread it to our friends and family?
No.
Maybe to our work colleagues?
I don't.
You want to be like those people?
No.
With the gender reveal party?
No.
With the explosion? Who lit half of California on fire?
I don't.
We made agreements!
Babe, I love our agreements. We're still in the danger zone. I know.
Do you still read the science?
Dear heart, I read about the science constantly.
I can send you more links.
No.
Because maybe if you had more data in your arsenal, you would feel better about our agreements.
Sweetie, I am solid.
Because we're just following the data. It isn't Play-Doh. You can't just blah, 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 make it up.
I love the science. Data is my bread.
Good.
Good.
I love you.
I love you too.
What you doing?
Hanging shirts.
But you don't have any shirts.
You shut the door.
I know.
We're just in the closet now.
What attracts them to us?
What?
Just curious. What attracts them to us?
Is this a test? In the closet.
It's not a test. It's a conversation.
They're attracted to our breath.
What about our breath?
The CO2. They sense CO2, obviously.
CO2, yes. And?
No.
Our body heat.
Body heat, yeah. It's basic. I thought it was too easy. I was looking for something harder.
Which is why they go for?
Pits and crotch.
How do they move?
They slither and jump. Good.
What about the red trails?
What about the red trails?
What is it?
The red trails are scat.
Fecal matter.
That's what scat means.
Oh, I know what scat means.
Scat is mostly blood.
The blood of the host.
Our blood.
Good.
But we don't have the red trails.
Oh, so that should pretty much be the all clear then, right?
No, I didn't say that.
You think they're gone now?
I didn't say that. The science is uncertain.
Wow! So it's unsettled now?
Look, we're still taking precautions. I want to protect other people.
In your heart, you don't think we have...
I'm not going anywhere. I put my clothes in the dryer. I do my oatmeal baths. I spray myself with deep chemicals. I eat the beets with the vinegar. I don't walk on the carpet because of the egg sac thing. I don't touch our books because they might live in the binding. I am on your fucking team. I love you. I assume we have these bugs.
Do you even want another boric acid spray treatment?
Of course I want another boric acid spray treatment. Are you nuts?
Sweet Sam, if we are serious about fighting these bugs, we must always doubt that we are free of them. Do you understand that? It's about doubt.
I doubt.
Who is that?
No idea.
Shit! Give me the spray.
We can't let them inside!
Ray!
Lemon or mint?
Lemon!
Oh, God.
Fucking monster! Holy fucking
Okay.
Don't go to the living room! Sam, the carpet! Hi! How are you? We would love to ask you in, but it's a mess in here.
Because of the construction!
We're renovating! Oh my god, it's a nightmare.
We're really inspired by an open concept. Maybe a breakfast nook.
You are a Girl Scout. That is so cute. Sam, look at her outfit.
Look, buddy, I have drywall dust all over me right now.
Man and dust, am I right?
It's everywhere. What do you think? 2 boxes, 10 boxes for the scouts?
Yup.
Now, little friend, is this for a good cause? For a global warming? Or, Lynn's, what's the hurricane right now?
It's for her troop, Sam.
Oh my God. Of course, what a good cause.
Girls are good, and scouts are...
Looking for things. Lookers? Not like good looking or like searchers.
little seekers with integrity.
So, Thin Mints?
Yes, 2 Thin Mints, and, fuck, what are they called?
Oops, that's a curse.
Sorry. Don't repeat that.
Yeah, sometimes grown-ups say fuck when they're renovating the kitchen.
Fucking caramel delights, that's what it is.
Caramel delights. 2 of those. And
2 and 2.
here is some cash.
Oh, clean that. Money is dirtier than the human mouth.
Just leave the cookies on the stoop. Keep the change. Bye.
Bye.
Sam has been leaving the house for longer periods of time. He says he's just going for drives. But yesterday, he smelled like his sister's perfume. She wears Jo Malone. Classy bitch. And then I noticed he had salt marks on his shoes. So I asked myself, why salt? And then I realized he's been around snow. But it hasn't snowed down here. It has only snowed up there, in a place we both love very much. A place we cannot go because it is our civic duty to keep from spreading this hell to anyone else. But Sam just can't help himself.
Oh, hey. How's your sister?
My sister.
Yeah. Let's give her a call. Say hello.
No. I mean, why?
Just to check in. Can I not call my sister-in-law?
No. You can. I just, let's do it tomorrow.
Why don't you want me to talk to your sister, Sam?
Who's that?
Turn off the lights. We haven't vacuumed the foyer.
If I turn off the lights, they'll know we're here.
Shit. Who is it?
I can't see.
It's that Girl Scout.
Why is she back? Why is she at our house again, Linz?
Her troop is fine. We bought 4 boxes.
She's back for more
She
cookies.
doesn't know any better.
Let's just buy 10 boxes, tell her to take our house off the list.
Don't change the subject.
I'm not with the subject.
Have you been with your sister recently?
I,
Where do you go, Sam?
Do I go?
When you leave this house, you take the car. For hours.
I go for a drive. I don't see people.
Why are there salt stains on your boots, Sam?
Salt.
The silt from the salt. It's because of snow.
Did it snow? I didn't notice.
Salt to melt the snow. Where did you go in the snow?
I'm not in the snow. I'm not, sure in the snow.
Are you skiing? You've been skiing!
No,
You skied?
I didn't ski.
If I look at your skis in the garage, will they have dust?
I don't know.
You fucking went up to Wyndham!
No!
You got yourself a little fucking lift ticket, didn't you?
No!
You ski with your sister? Oh, little bro sis time? Little day pass?
I did not ski. I mean, that would be so irresponsible.
Do you know how much I want to ski?
Yeah, yes, I do. I do.
Stop ringing that bell!
We can't do anything for you! We've already done too much! What are you doing?
I'm posting something.
What? On the... No. Stop. Stop, please. Please stop. Do not.
What? NBD? I'm updating the world on our little bug problem. Then I'm gonna tell everyone you went skiing!
Linz, I'm sorry. My sister called from Hunter. She said there was fresh powder.
We need to tell our friends. Oh, they need to know you're skiing, despite the fact that we are infested with a highly transmissible insect that eats our blood!
Go back to your troop!
Don't yell at the scout! This is your fault!
Okay. I skied. Okay? I did. I went skiing.
You fucking monster!
Yeah! I am a monster. Because I am tired of asking for permission. And the cleaning, and the spraying, and the lying. I'm tired of being trapped in this godforsaken house. So I went to the mountain, and I fucking skied.
There it is!
And I loved it! I wanted to feel the snow burn my face. I wanted to float through the air on a gondola. I wanted to wear swords on my feet. I wanted to move fast and apologize to no one. So I did it. I went out there and I skied the double blacks! I have something important to tell you.
Ugh. Should I get a podium?
Found the red trails. In our walls.
I know. I saw them.
Well, it's a relief, right? I mean, at least we know for sure we have them.
I always knew we had them, and I was right. Nothing's changed.
At least we can schedule another boric acid spray treatment. I mean, that's nice.
I already booked it.
Great. And this time we can do the big one.
Whatever.
When can he come?
3 weeks. He's booked for 3 weeks.
Okay, so we wait.
Sam,
Yes.
it's March.
Linz.
It's getting warmer.
Linz. If March comes in like a lion, there's still a lot of winter left.
Sam, I'm scared.
What if...
What?
I mean, this weekend, we could go.
What are you talking about? You're talking about just going to a lodge? Bringing our infested clothes and our infested bodies to a lodge? The science is such a hard no on that.
Linz, let's just... Fuck!
What?
Let's just go! Let's just ski!
You don't think I want that?
Let's go up to the mountain right now. Long weekend right fucking now. I'm getting the toolie racks.
It kills me when you talk like this.
It's gonna be 33 and sunny from Monday. Powder days, beautiful days!
Why are we going against everything we stand for?
I want to give this to you.
Sam, we can't.
Let me take care of you. Let's go off piste.
Stop.
No one has to know about this. No posts, no family. Listen to me. All we have to do is cut a few corners.
You're hurting me.
Wood stove, thermal undies. We could eat the shit out of some fried lodge food.
Fucking stop it, you predator. Don't tease me like that.
I want to carve snow with you. Let's build a fire in a little chalet.
Sam, I'm scared.
Let's get in the
A
Jetta.
little black Jetta.
Let's get in the Jetta and take the mountain. Let's go to Stowe.
Stowe? Sam, it's so irresponsible.
I know it is.
I want it, baby.
Yeah, you do. Let's drink Black Manhattans and cuddle like bobcats.
Oh, I want to ski with you, you sweet little
Ski
fucker.
with me. Ski with me right now.
Snow!
Snow! Snow!
We both belong before we'll all be there with snow. I wanna wash my hands, my face and hair with snow.
I trust Sam. I really do. I think the infestation is on its last legs. But even if it isn't, we're gonna be okay. And the bugs have taught me a lot. Sometimes you have to change your agreements, because if you don't bend, you break. Doubt is important, but you also need faith, because faith can lead you into some really wonderful rooms in life that you never knew you had. I love Sam. I love our life together. I love the house we're building together. But most of all, I love to ski.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you all so much. Thank you all. I am Joshua William Gelb. This is Theater in Quarantine. You just watched Blood Meal by Scott R. Sheppard, featuring myself and Lee Minora, coming to you live from the downstairs theater of La Mama. Truly right over there. And while she is based in Philly usually, but has come to New York and is now in the basement of La Mama, where of course she's stuck now because of the snowstorm. We are so thrilled to have you here. Thank you all so much, and thank you for coming. We're going to stick around for a little bit and have a drink and talk a little bit about making this piece, so stick around and drop any comments or chat or questions you have into the chat. As always, you can also leave donations in the chat. Just pressing that little $sign there, little tips, or you can also donate at Fractured Atlas for a tax-deductible donation. You can also subscribe to the channel. While I'm doing the usual spiel, I'm signing on to Zoom and connecting with everyone again so that we can answer any questions you might have about this piece. This is, I might say, the first Theater in Quarantine show where we have successfully, I say, brought in a second remote performer. And so we're particularly thrilled tonight. It's kind of a celebratory evening, as it were. And we did it twice. And, okay, hold on one second, everyone. So we did it twice. And as I like to say here at Theater in Quarantine, one time is luck and twice is rehearsed. So I have everyone from the team here. I'm just going to clean up this window so that we can see everybody. There we go. And I'm going to clean it up more so we don't see the Zoom controls. Again, they're going to answer any questions you have. Katie Rose, the co-creative director of Theater in Quarantine, is going to introduce everyone. Allow me to very quickly make sure I am connected to everything. I believe I am. Katie Rose, would you mind saying hi?
Hi.
Perfect. Could you introduce or begin the introductions while I go and get myself a bourbon?
Yes, much deserved, Josh.
Thank you.
Much deserved.
I'll be back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Rose McLaughlin. I'm the co-creative director of Theater in Quarantine. I was also the movement director and costume designer of this lovely production. Scott, do you want to start with introductions and then pass it off? Scott, can you hear me?
I wasn't hearing you. I was having problems with audio, but now I can hear you. Hello.
Hi. Do you want to introduce yourself and then pass it off?
Hey, how's it going? I'm Scott Sheppard. I'm the writer of Blood Meal. Yeah, I'll pass it off to Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate Marvin. I am sound designer of Blood Meal, and I will pass it off to Alex.
I'm Alex, and I helped to facilitate the remote performer interaction with Josh. And with that, I will pass it off to the remote performer, Lee.
Hello, I'm Lee. I played Linz.
What? Lee, how you feeling?
So good. So good. Feeling amazing.
It was such an epic day on so many levels. Snowstorm, giant snowstorm.
Within the story and without.
Appropriately themed weather for the performance.
Josh, how are you feeling?
Great. I mean, we did it. As I was saying to everyone before, this is really the first time we've been able to do this. I say successfully. We've tried it once before with an incredible artistic team, and we just weren't quite there with the tech yet. And so on that one, that was 1,500 rubles and a revolver, which is available on the channel. You can see what happened. We spent that whole last day troubleshooting nothing but audio because we couldn't synchronize the remote performer. And we, at a certain point, we never got there. We canceled the first show. We did the second show, but as you can see it online. There's a lot of glitching there, and it just doesn't quite come together as a supposedly live event. And I guess that's what I'm just so thrilled about tonight, is that we were able to bring you, Lee, into the closet from a distant place, and it feels like we're talking to one another, and that's what this has been about. So really thrilled.
And we should say that Alex created a piece of software for this purpose, which made it possible. superhuman.
Yeah, and there's a question in the chat. Kevin said, "Can Alex tell us about MIQ software?"
I can certainly try. I mean, it came out of a conversation after the last piece with. I was speaking with Justin Nestor, who's the co-artistic director of Theater Mitu, and I'm a Mitu member as well. And we were just sort of looking at this, being like, "There's got to be a way. Like, we at Mitu work with technology all the time. There's got to be a way to facilitate this." And so I started thinking about just all the different sort of. I won't go into my like tirade on time and the internet, but like. Starting to think about all the ways in which delay and latency occur and trying to figure out a situation that could give some semblance of control. And I feel like as of about 5:30 today, we figured it out.
Now, I'm going to try and summarize your software very layman's terms for everybody, but then I'm interested in you trying to figure out in layman's terms how to explain what we worked out this evening, right before the first show. So his software allows Lee and I, basically it helps us through a bunch of routing software and through QLab. It allows us to have a mixing console where Lee and I are able to not only hear each other, we're able to hear all of our audio tracks, which is what keeps us synchronized with all of the video and audio. It sends us out into the capture card. It basically serves as a central hub. And we had tried that on Loopback alone, and it was not working. And so Alex really was able to give us a system where we're able to delay certain feeds. There are like multiple delays added in various steps here, and that is what's going into the program in general. Alex, though, because we hit a wall today, and then something was solved.
Yeah, I mean, sort of the analogy that I've been thinking about is sort of like if you watch a track meet, and you watch all the runners start at like different distances so that they're all running the same amount in the end, but it looks really unfair for some of the people. Like that's sort of what the system is trying to do, is like slow Josh down so the information has time to get to Lee and then come back, and Josh then meets Lee at that point. And we are using a software called Sonobus, which is fantastic, and we love it very much. And it was doing a very intelligent thing from a certain perspective, which was it was sort of noticing a certain lag in the internet. And it was like, great, I'm just going to slow everything down by almost a full second in order to make sure that the internet stays stable, which is not what you want in performance. You don't want a full second lag. And so, you know, we sort of all scratched our heads and stared at this a while and then just started clicking open windows and was like, oh, that thing where it says 800 milliseconds, let's turn that off of auto and let's just disable that very smart feature. And that happened at like, 5 p.m. today, which was better late than never. So,
and suddenly Lee and I were able to talk to one another like we were in the same room. It was real, which unlike in any rehearsal previously, I'd say.
Agreed.
It's an iterative process. We're learning every day.
A great question from Dito. Why are Philadelphians so talented? Scott, Lee, Alex, I guess. Yeah.
Scott, what do you think?
Scrappiness.
Yeah. Hungry dogs.
It's in the water. It's the bread. It's the bread and the meat.
There you go. The answer. It's good to see you, Dito. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Dito.
No.
Dito's the answer. It's the Dito legacy.
Yeah. Plus, Dito was my teacher, and so I learned a lot from him, personally.
So let's talk a bit about, let's go back to square one. Scott, talk a little bit about how this piece came about, the usual stuff that we kind of skipped last time. So let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The piece really had a kind of roundabout process. We started with a bunch of material from the perspective of an exterminator, a kind of like wild-eyed George Saunders-inspired exterminator character. And initially, the entire piece was like a monologue from this crazy exterminator that was getting rid of a bug that was like bed bugs. And because I was kind of thinking about tailoring the piece to Josh and the one person closet scenario. And I started generating all this other writing around COVID and kind of agreements and things like that.
And you got a house recently. I think that's key.
And my partner and I recently bought a house, and so we were going through this old house, and it's up in the Catskills, and I was learning. I'm not a skier, but I was learning about all this like ski culture, and there was this kind of weird subculture around that, and around the artifacts of people living in houses, and so thinking a lot about architecture and the COVID reality, and started thinking about bed bugs, wrote this whole exterminator thing. And then I think it's funny about Theater in Quarantine is I generated all this writing around couples like occupying a house and figuring out what to do with a house. And I was like, should I keep doing this? This is a bad setup because we can't really do a second performer. And they were like, just write it and we'll figure it out later. And I was like, okay. So I wrote like that's the least conducive piece for the like fast mumblecore dialogue. And I was like, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare. But everybody really like solved all of the problems, and then it became such a joy to figure out how we were gonna, master this crazy content that I had set us up with. I was kind of, feeling so guilty that I gave us such a crazy task, and then ended up working out.
We're all glad it worked out. I think this. I'm intrigued, Scott. Of course, Scott actually is not new to Theater in Quarantine. Scott wrote Topside, which you can watch on the channel. It's an incredible piece, one of our earliest pieces, and I guess. Scott, you've always been one to demand a second performer. So far of the two pieces you've written for us. And I'm intrigued by... I just am really interested in hearing how how the process has changed and or not changed at all. Because it was so different back then. But I'd love to hear from your perspective.
Yeah. I mean, back in the days of May and June... we were turning our computers sideways to figure out how Josh could perform. Because a lot of the scenes, like the scene where they're really big in the room, in the kitchen, they're both performing on their side in the closet, and defying gravity. Topside, this other piece that Josh and I worked on, was entirely performed on its side. So... yeah, there was a kind of like old school Theater in Quarantine. We were like, like rehearsing like this for entire hours. And now it's like, we've got designers and Kate's throwing sound in and Alex is writing crazy software. So it's, it just feels like the whole thing is, being amplified and supported by all these amazing artists.
I appreciate that. It's funny, though, because I also feel like when we get a Scott show, somehow it also contends with, like, really bumping against the technology in cool ways. And I don't know if it's you specifically, but it's somehow the work you write that... I remember Topside, we had to push back a week because we just could not control... Like, I was working off of one computer at the time, a laptop, and there was no way we could run that show off of that laptop. And so we had to come up with a 2-computer system, and we postponed a week, and we did it. And now this time, again, it's a 2-performer situation, and our computer has been shutting down every, 20 minutes, as everyone can frustratedly admit. So, it's like always we get here and it's like we're like breaking something, which is exciting. And I guess I'm just in a great mood today here at the 9 p.m. show because we don't have to do it again. Because we did it twice successfully.
We did it twice.
Twice. And we didn't have to postpone a week, So like we actually managed to do it in the time we had. And it's bigger and crazier than anything we've done before.
I do feel like I'm going to keep an eye out for Scott's name, though, and just be warned now that I know that his interaction with technology is questionable. Not going down that road again.
Wait, when I read this
Sound
with Scott, I was like, how are you doing this? How are you going to do this with like 2 people and stuff? I'd seen Topside. I was like, I don't understand. And he was like, oh, they told me not to worry about it.
It's true, we did.
We did say that. We're getting better at saying not. Yeah, KR, go ahead.
Yes, no, we're definitely we've learned, we're getting better. But also, I think that if we do another show with Scott, we just have to buy one more computer than whatever our computer setup is. I think we just need to know that. That'll be the rider.
Yes. How many TiQs? Hi, Ali Wu. How many TiQ shows are you working on at once? Well, we do shows every 3 weeks now. We used to do them every 2 weeks. So, in general, I'd say, and it depends on our scheduling. Right now, we're moving to Thursdays, by the way. February 25th is our next show. It's going to be Closet Works. Colin Kelly is choreographing. Amazing. And so we are constantly shifting how that moves around. It's to say, usually we're working on 2 or 3 shows at a time. So we're working on the show we're doing, which has exactly a 3-week window to rehearse and to really be made. That being said, as with Scott, when Scott came to us and started giving us drafts, that was a couple weeks out beyond that. And so we're working on that while we're working on other shows. And so that's usually how it goes. Okay.
We're also only rehearsing one show at a time.
Mm-hmm.
We only have the capabilities of rehearsing one show at a time.
Yeah.
We're like talking, like we were in talks with Scott. When did we start? End of just
started I think during Sacred Face, maybe a little before.
So we were just, reading scripts, talking, brainstorming, and did that all the way through Closet Works, but weren't able to actually like get on our feet and like put things up until after that show was over. And then it's just like mad dash.
Yeah. I don't think we brought on Lee until 2 weeks ago. Right, Lee? You're muted.
That is correct. 2
Sheesh.
weeks ago.
That's
All
wild.
happened so fast.
Yeah, and yet. Yeah, go ahead. Who? Scott.
I just have to give a huge shout out to these 2 performers. I feel like the thing that it's hard to realize is like how difficult it is to create that illusion that 2 people are in the same space, and let alone like comedy and little inflections, all of the things that normally as a performer you build up these skills for years to read another person's energy, figure out the timing. That is all an illusion in this piece, and they're just trusting the things that they've built together. I mean, it's just phenomenal job by these 2 performers to make this piece live.
And today, especially the 9 o'clock today, especially the 2 of you, when you get dressed and you're standing with your garbage bags, you turn together, you took a breath together, and then you both turned. It was crazy. Like even I was like, they really were, playing off each other really well in that.
That was a choreographed breath at one point.
There was a breath. We all took a breath.
Yeah, but like breath is like very different to every person.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
It was so good.
It was telepathy tonight.
Oh gosh. Well, no one's asking questions. Hey, you're all sitting there, audience. Ask some questions.
We should ask a question to Kate about the
I like that.
amazing introduction of the style of sound and music that she put in, which totally transformed and like allowed the melodrama of the piece to come out.
That was
Yes,
a fun day. Yeah, I mean, I had so many ideas when Josh first told me about the concept of the piece and the involvement of bugs. I was like, oh, great, bugs. Like, that's a great prompt for sound. There are so many good creepy crawly sounds and scuttling sounds, and we can make all these like scritchy, scratchy rhythms, and it'll be really fun to play with textures. And then we were playing with some of that, and it was really fun, especially as underscore for those amazing voiceovers Lee does. But then we were talking a lot about melodrama, and I started digging into my archive of kind of American realism, Technicolor, theremin music, thinking, oh, theremins kind of sound like mosquitoes, actually. And so I dropped a track into Logic and I reversed it, and it sounded really awesome. And it sounded scratchy and mosquito-y and melodramatic. And so we just started kind of throwing things in as we were looking at video moments and as we were kind of working with text, and it just felt right. So that's
And
where we went.
Kate, please talk to me a little bit, because as you said, there's sort of like or as my parents said between shows, they were like, "Wow, that was a real play."
Damn.
I was like,
Big
"Oh,
Sam and Victor."
well." Speaking of great American plays, because I think actually it's a little bit embedded in this piece. Where were you when we first spoke about working on this show?
Oh my God. I was in Massachusetts. I was in a house that belongs to a friend. And it's a house where Elizabeth Taylor lived when she was working on Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. This was her house while she was filming. And and they still have this like giant industrial stove she had brought in because I guess she loved cooking, or she had someone who loved cooking for her. So anyway, Josh and I were imagining all of the crazy drama that must have happened in that house, and all the whiskey that got drunk there.
Yeah. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah. And I like to think we brought a little bit of Elizabeth and Richard to this. A little bit. No worries, Alex. Good night. We love you. Mwah. So we have a question from Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. Josh and Lee, what were you seeing during the performance? Do you see what we see on some kind of monitor situation? You go first.
You would think that's what you'd see, right? If you were coming from out of town, you would think there must be some kind of monitor that I'm going to look at. Nothing. I'm too scared to pick up this computer, Josh. Maybe you can show your version of I'm just staring at ring lights. And
You're staring at ring lights. I'm not going to get my setup going. But no, we don't have any monitors at all.
This is what I'm staring at, if you can see it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It kind of is beautiful. My closet looks like a spaceship.
Yeah.
But that's what I stare at. There's the camera behind my water bottle. Is it? Oh, no, wait. What am I showing?
No, there's your water bottle.
There's the camera.
You have a nice camera. I have a webcam.
Got that nice cam.
Yeah, you got the nice camera. No, we don't use monitors for a couple reasons. First off, my computer has monitor capability, but I have found that if I enter what's called performance mode in Streamlabs, which is what we use, Streamlabs OBS, in order to stream to YouTube, that it messes with the feed, so we use performance mode to just clean the feed, which means I cannot see anything. So we are flying blind on this show. And on every show, mostly every show we do. And there are pros and cons to that. Con being, you have to know the show slightly better than you think. Pro, though, you are not staring at a monitor. And I do think that's actually really key here. I liken our production model to Saturday Night Live a lot. We're like pounding out these pieces in weeks. And I do feel like TiQ has more of a television model in the way we make work. And I only realized recently that actually, of course they use cue cards. It's what they do. They make work in a week. It's how they are able to do that. And it's awful, right? It's one of those terrible things where you see an actor look at a cue card and you go, just memorize your lines, come on. Which is to say, and I apologize immediately to the cue cards union, get rid of the cue cards and just give them in-ears. And it'll be that fast and simple and cheaper. So sorry. But that's what we do. And that is our monitor frankly. And so we hear everything. We give ourselves cues in our ears. We give ourselves lines in our ears, which is exceptionally difficult in a two-hander. So that's actually quite a skill, even though it sounds like we're being lazy. And yeah, that's the way we're able to negotiate how it works. I usually, of course, do a lot of the video design, so I know the piece fairly well. Lee, though, in a matter of 2 weeks, really picked this darn thing up. And I just cannot believe how well you were like... My favorite moment is when Lee, between shows, was like, Josh, I need to figure out, like, when do I leave frame on this one moment? And I realized that it was like the can of worms of the one section I had it had been on my list for days, but I'd totally forgotten to fix on the video work. And I was like, oh no, that's my bad. I'm just not like fading you out fast enough. And so anyway, that's amazing and a testament to Lee, truly. Like, well done. This is an impossible task. And you did it, so thank you.
Thank you. It was incredible. It was truly, I said this before, but I'll say it again for whoever's still watching. It was such a gift to get to feel nervous for a live performance, to have like 10 and be like, soon it's gonna start and it's live. It was really incredible, really.
Susan Bernfeld says, perfect capture of the bedbug experience. I'm not going to ask anyone to raise their hand right now. So everyone just stare at the computer. No, Lee, don't raise your hand. That was the whole point, was that none of us raised our hand. Who's had bedbugs? That's for you to decide, audience. That's for you to decide. Except for Lee, who raised her hand.
Only for the one time I had. You don't know about the other time I had them.
That's true. I only know about the one time.
No bed bug shaming on talkbacks, please.
Oh, come now. I had them. Ah, now we did it! Oh!
It's not about hygiene. It could happen to anyone.
Exactly.
I'm a very clean person.
Oh,
The real question is, where did you go when you had them, and who did you not tell?
I didn't tell anyone, but, well, except like maybe my parents. And I put everything, before I leave the house, I put everything in the dryer. Like 5 minutes before I left, everything got heated. And I get dressed and leave. I wouldn't sit on anything. I wouldn't touch anything. Nothing. That was...
We're not going to talk about me. I may have traveled internationally to avoid the debacle.
Oh!
Josh definitely skied.
You skied.
I skied. I'm so sorry. No one else got them though, so that's positive.
I'm actually
That you
quite
know of.
Well,
At least no one in the circle of the people who I went with, who were most likely.
But also, you had them, like, I was spending a lot of time with you before you traveled.
That's true.
We thought they were mosquitoes.
Oh, it was so bad. I thought it was mosquitoes. I got a mosquito net over my bed. It's like the delusion. The true delusion.
You just kept the bed bugs in by doing that.
Yeah.
My roommate told me I was having a panic attack. She was like, you're having panic attacks and you're covered in hives. That's what it is. Panic attack hives. And I was like, I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening.
I don't know. Watching this show, I kept feeling creepy crawly sensations on my skin. Thank you, Stephanie. Such a visceral experience. And true. Oh my gosh, yes. No, it's like, anytime I hear the word, this actually used to be a line in your show, in the play, Scott. Anytime I hear the word, I start to itch. Yeah. Well, it's 10:07, and we're so thrilled that you watched and joined us this evening at the Late Show here at Theater in Quarantine. Usually at the Late Show, we do final thoughts. Final thoughts mean whatever you want them to mean. You can, say something profound. You can promote something. You can admit that you were one of the Capitol rioters. You can do whatever you want. Now's the time. Final thoughts.
I just want to shout out to the snow. I think the snow ended up bringing us together today, as it ruined part of the show throughout the day, because we wrote it into the end as a kind of as a key player, and so the snow. I think it was just it was so exciting to have the snow kind of come in and out of the show as this terrifying, wonderful element. Stay safe out there.
Yes. Kate.
Can't top that, but the first thing that came to mind when you said final thoughts are like, I want to ski. I know I want to ski. And I really, your silly skiing it just looks so fun. So I'm ready to ski, but maybe next winter.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a sad one.
Oh. Lee.
Oh, my final thought is just so much gratitude. So much gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, I must thank you last. Thank you.
We're going to be here all night.
All night.
Katie Rose.
I have a few final thoughts.
Oh.
One of which is Stivo is shoveling his mother's car, which is why he can't be here with us, which I think is just like the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
So shout out to Stivo for doing some really great, probably intense manual labor after some intense technical labor this morning.
Yes.
Also, Stivo was helping me try to maybe troubleshoot what was going on with some interlacing issues during the break. So love Stivo. We love Stivo. But also I love all of you. This was like such a joy and such a pleasure. And also, you learn very quickly the types of people you are spending time with when shit goes wrong. And you all handled everything with such grace and continued positivity, which I think just helped us all continue forward and find solutions to problems that I think other people would have thought there were no solutions to. So I just want to thank you all. Yes, thank you.
I mean, truly, you stick it out that 10 extra minutes. I mean, truly, we were about to take a break, and then we figured it out. And then the whole show was like doable tonight. So anyway, I remember the story of the last time I skied. These are my final thoughts. Can I have actual final thoughts tonight?
Love it. I love it. I love it. You should always have final thoughts.
Yeah, usually my final thoughts are purely promotional. But suddenly someone was like skiing. I was like, oh yeah, I remember the last time I skied, which was over 10 years ago. But it happened to be in Switzerland. And I skied the Alps. And I remember the night before, I was on a terrible, terrible vacation with someone. It just wasn't working out. And we ended up we were in Italy, and we decided to go to Switzerland. And this was like just after college. And anyway, I'm fairly certain that night I ended up snorting a lot of stuff. And very hungover, skied the Alps the next day. And it was just delightful. It was like the most lovely thing. And
you did it like in just an overcoat, like no ski attire.
I had no ski attire. I had nothing. That was just, I had jeans and an overcoat. That's what I was bringing. So anyway, that's my last memory of skiing, which is also to say that I probably shouldn't ski again, because that was like, you never top that, right? But wow, no, truly, this was an absolute delight, and I'm just so thrilled that we were able, like, honestly, like, we turn off the stream, and then we all, like, kind of scream because we did it, and we really didn't think we were going to, and so I just want to have a little bit of the expression of that joy, like, we fucking did it. So, thank you all, and thank you to our audience who watched us tonight. It's really so exciting, maybe a little groundbreaking, who knows, but we were able to get two people talking to each other live in the middle of a blizzard, and that's fucking huge. So, thank you, and thanks to everyone, really. I really am so thrilled. Theater in Quarantine, subscribe, donate. See us on February 25th. We're moving to Thursdays. Thursdays, much better day. Thirsty Thursdays. It's in the show. Anyway, I'm Joshua William Gelb. There's a closet in my apartment, and it's apparently become a theater. Have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy, get vaccinated if you can. And good night.